So we recently learned that the Fireflies and the Birch Forest will not be coming to the 1.19 Wild update. So I figured why not dedicate a video to Firefly solutions, ways Mojang could implement Fireflies into Minecraft without harming frogs, because this seems to be the reason, at least this is the reason they gave us, as to why they removed Fireflies to begin with.
But then we got great feedback from you guys in a lovely community, and you taught us that a lot of species of fireflies and firebugs that are out there are poisonous to toads and frogs. And of course we didn't want to add that into our game.
Certain species of fireflies are poisonous to frogs, and they don't want that. So today it's all about ideas, it's all about solutions, because fireflies are technically not gone forever. They've gone back into this mysterious library of ideas, or vault of ideas, which I did make a video covering this a couple days ago, so I will have a link in the description, where these ideas aren't technically gone forever. Mojang can pull these ideas whenever they feel like these ideas are suitable for the update that they're working on, which I know isn't terribly specific and not really helpful for us to understand when we're going to get certain features, but essentially they're just not gone. And luckily, thanks to the homie King B Dogs, we know that the Birch Forest is currently in this library of ideas, which honestly sounds better than just a concept. I think we can all agree that knowing the Birch Forest could still come in a future update is better than just hearing it's a concept and that's not a commitment. But I digress. So hopefully you guys do enjoy the video. If you are new to the channel, please consider joining the Stealth Army. Click that subscribe button. I'd love to see you around here. So let's start off with number 1, which is something I've seen literally every single YouTuber, creator, and viewer mention. Frogs simply don't eat fireflies. And yes, they would still serve a purpose in Minecraft. They wouldn't be useless because this update specifically is about immersion. The wild update is about how you feel when you're in certain biomes. And of course, having these beautiful bugs light up the night sky is one of the ways to make certain biomes more immersive and just make you feel like you're in the wilderness, like you're not alone. I know that sounds weird, but when you see movement, when you see these bugs that can light up the sky and then slowly disappear, you don't really feel alone in that situation. And maybe the biomes just feel naturally more alive and you feel like you're in these biomes. So I do feel like, yes, it does add to biome identity. They're not just 2 pixels, or at least they're not just 2 pixels to a lot of us. Another solution is that fireflies are particle effects, which I know this can get a little iffy because of performance, like particles can definitely slow down performance depending on what type of computer or type of build you have, so this can be problematic. I think another solution for that is to make it where there's like pockets of fireflies. Instead of them being scattered throughout the entire biomes, have them in sort of pockets where you still feel their presence, but they're not everywhere. And this way you don't have to worry about frogs eating them, you don't have to worry about anybody harming fireflies at all. I mean, maybe they can make it where we can interact with fireflies through scooping them up with a bottle or a jar or something, and then that way we can keep them. And I'm not the biggest fan of this idea because I prefer solid entities like mobs, something you can interact with, which if they can make a way where we can interact with particles, I think this is a good idea. And this solves a problem that Mojang seems to feel like is big enough to remove the idea completely, which is protecting frogs. So yeah, this is a good idea. Another idea is to make them so big that frogs can't eat them, similar to bees, which I have to say the Buzzy Bee update is one of my favorite updates. That's really small, but it has so much personality and good content, so I'm never against a small update. I think this is exactly the answer that Mojang was looking for, and it's something they made years ago. Bees. That is the solution to the Firefly issue. Make them larger, probably not to the size of bees, but a little bit smaller than the bee mob, and in that way frogs are just not interested. They just don't care about fireflies. It's just not going to have the same impact. So making them bigger is a solution, and better yet, who said they even had to be called fireflies? There's so many weird fake names we could give fireflies, and then that way, it's just not the same thing, clearly. I mean, they're not the same creature, they're not the same insect. So no harm can be done to frogs if they consume the blazing bug or the shining insect, the flaming fly. Like, you guys can come up with some interesting and weird names, but I guess what I'm trying to say in a nutshell is remove the name fireflies or lightning bugs, whatever they're known as, and the species of them. We don't have to have that in Minecraft. The name itself doesn't have to exist in Minecraft, which is still a fantasy game. Now, I'm no game developer, but I feel like one of the things that game developers have to do is problem solving, which is figuring out a way to work around a problem, to have a solution even though there's this problem that you have. And I think the past week we've seen how passionate the community is when it comes to the fireflies, as well as the birch forest, but we could save that for a separate video. But I think specifically, fireflies are more than just 2 pixels to the community. And I think Lady Agnes, the way she was describing the wild update and what it meant for her, I think a lot of us felt the same way. I think a lot of us resonated with her description of the wilderness, of being immersed in a biome. And when we thought of that, we thought of fireflies. And I think this is a very important element when it comes to the mangrove, when it comes to the swamps and other biomes. So I really hope that Mojang reaches out to people in the community, members on Discord and on Twitter and feedback and of course Reddit, because if they do a little digging and some reading, of course, they will find some solutions to problems that they currently have. They're going to find a lot of ideas, and ultimately, they're going to see how much we care about Minecraft. Of course, there's going to be haters. There's going to be a lot of negativity, especially with the most recent Q&A, but they're going to see a lot of passion, a lot of love, and a lot of interest for things that Mojang has showcased over the past year or so. So share your ideas down below, share your input, your criticism. Doesn't matter as long as it's respectful. And I want to say thank you guys again, and I'll see you all in the next video. So take care. Peace.